the process, the rapid process of industrialization of China, the factory of the world. So I think this is the forum when we speak about all these possibilities, and thanks to both the universities for having organized such an event so that we can really benefit from the process of industrialization having taking place in the neighborhood of Nepal also. I would just like to talk on some of the issues of geopolitical landscape. This is important. We are not ASEAN because ASEAN countries are more or less more homogeneous than the South Asian countries in general, better located, better integrated, and perhaps you do have tensions, but I think they are not comparable to what we face in South Asian region. But having said that, we still can reap the benefit of the progress that our neighboring countries are making in industrialization through transparent and predictable fiscal and financial policies, and also regulatory frameworks, environmental policies, and our social responsibility initiatives. And that also might affect some of our kind of good governance practices that investors would like before they want to shift their industrial location to some country. Workforce agility is something which we should be taking into consideration in this era of rapid technological advancement, which includes the workforce skills, flexibility and retention of labor, and availability and cost of skilled talents. I'm not simply talking about labor force, I'm also talking about the human resource, which is a triggering factor. And particularly when we are talking about IT industry, relocation of IT industries, the kind of expertise or skill in IT matters a lot if you really want to relocate some of the industries to this region, which is South Asia. As such, South Asia is emerging very fast in terms of ICT expansion. This is a good sign. We do have very good human resource growing in this region. Good English-speaking community, and also most of the outsourcing and also some of the business operations of the world are taking in South Asia. This is good sign, but we could really benefit from that in a larger extent. And for that, I think we should take our position even stronger in terms of making ICT infrastructure better and also user-friendly. There are several issues. I don't want to dwell into this, but we have to do much more in ICT areas so that we can benefit from industrial relocation potentials from other parts of the world. There are some other points that we should consider about talking about industrial relocation. That's the kind of availability of raw materials or inputs along with labor and other policies. What is that? South Asia is rich in several natural resources, forest resources. I think about 1/3 of South Asia's land area is covered by forests. The region is very rich in biodiversity. Some reports say that about 15% of the world's biodiversity is in South Asia. And South Asia possesses a large portion of intellectual and learned people who have skills also to undertake manufacturing activities, and that is something, a comfortable factor to make South Asia as a potential option for industrial relocation from all other parts of the world, including from China, including from ASEAN countries. If you are overcrowded in ASEAN, we have enough space to invite you, because our markets are larger, we are evolving, and we have many greenfield opportunities to invest. So these opportunities could really be grabbed through ASEAN and SAARC collaboration or integration in terms of trade, investment, and infrastructure. Globalization, we call has to be inclusive, no doubt. It has to be socially justifiable, and it should not be excluding a larger portion of the population or community out of the benefit of the process of globalization. This is something that we should consider, but we cannot simply avoid the whole trend of globalization, which is also causing an industrial shift. And in that, the flow of foreign direct investment coming from capital surplus countries to capital deficient countries, we have to see that along with capital and technology, industrial transfers or the shift of industries could also take place. And I know China is the country with one of the largest recipient of FDI and largest investor in FDI as well. And China having had the largest reserves of the world, about 28-30%. So I can see a lot of potential for Chinese investments to be relocated in South Asia, provided that we create an enabling environment for the same. Let's think about some of the areas that we have in concern. The some business disruptions coming from different areas, from trade wars, which are happening even these days, particularly in the ICT area, which we can observe between big countries. The situation created by COVID-19, the kind of natural disasters, and breakdown of the supply chain. So oftentimes we discuss about the merit and demerit of industrial transfers versus the establishment of service chains. We are today talking more about the industrial transfer rather than of the supply chains. So, but if you really cannot transfer industries to this region, I think we can create opportunities also to establish the value chain. That could also help us to somehow to promote our business, to promote our resources towards industrialization. So we should not forget the opportunity for the kind of industrial value chain also in this region. South Asian region, about 1/5 of the population of the world resides in this region, but about 1/4 of the world's extreme poor also are with us in the same region. We are also a region facing very contrast political, demographic, geographical, social and economic systems. We are least integrated, as Your Excellency and others spoke about. Less than 5% of the region's trade is within the region. In ASEAN, as the previous speaker spoke about and others spoke, the intra-regional trade is more than 25%. And also in terms of GDP of the region's intra-regional trade, 2% of GDP, compares too low with the ASEAN's trade among the countries, which is about 20% of the region's combined GDP. So, where are the areas that we can improve upon to see that the region really can attract industrial establishments in this region is triggered by the fact that first we should have a better integration of the region so that we can have benefit from the kind of endowments that each country of the region possesses. Look at the trade restrictions in the region. We have several restrictions in the region. Let me cite some of the examples. Cost of imports of South Asian countries are 2 to 9 times higher for imports from South Asian region itself. Than from imports from the rest of the world. So, if intra-regional trade is so expensive compared to inter-regional trade or trade with rest of the world, we cannot really create an environment where we really see the industrial transfers from other countries could take place in the region to take advantage